Absolutely.
All right. So, start with what's your role at WeTrust? How long have you been here?
Yeah, so I am the interim director of growth, and I have been here since the start of the year. Put a couple days in before,
Okay.
yeah, right before the the year, but otherwise, yeah, I was primarily getting started in that first week of January.
Cool. And what are you focusing on right now for marketing?
Yeah, so it's shifting towards content strategy, looking at a lot of what the competitors are doing.
Yeah.
So Patrick has me doing a lot of competitive analysis,
Good.
but and some of the event stuff still trying to drive forward. We're just limited on how many we can do.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I'd love to hear more about the competitive analysis. We've talked to a couple people about, like who the competitors are for the platform. But yeah, I mean, let's just start there. What do you see as the competitive landscape in this new direction?
Yeah. So prior to the inception sessions we had over the past couple weeks, there was kind of an effort to map out what a new product would look like. So I mean, it sounds like you guys have already heard about that. It of course is it's really playing up the whole platform side of things that I know we've kind of always talked about, but we're kind of proceeding down we'll just build a bunch of fintech related DApps ourselves. Now we're obviously shifting to get others to build onto the platform. So I think the first one that really jumped out was, of course, Stellar, given they have a similar mission, to bank the global unbanked, underbanked communities, and are also kind of their own blockchain, their own play. So I think that was kind of the big one. But from there, of course, we started researching. Here it is. Did you guys see the WeTrust 2.0 document?
No, I'm not sure. We're having trouble getting into the Google account because George has access to it and he's out.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So so there was basically like a 20-page doc where we aggregated a bunch of kind of competitive analysis around product, around marketing strategy, around kind of different stuff they were doing. But yeah, when it comes to specific companies, Stellar is the big one we looked into. Origin Protocol, which is weird because they're a partner of ours. But I know we're kind of going to be playing in their turf a little bit more as we shift towards building tools and protocols. But yeah, so Origin we looked into. Then of course I looked into SweetBridge, another company that, kind of does a similar approach here. Then we looked into, let me see, 0x Project. We looked into what those guys are doing. And we actually crafted up like a sample script for how we could announce this shift to the press, which is something I know I really want you guys to take a look at.
Okay. Interesting. So you have a separate document for that?
It's in that WeTrust 2.0 doc.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Is this on Atlassian's Confluence or is this on like Google Docs?
This is Google Docs.
Oh, okay. Well, you could probably just share that with us if you wanted to. I mean, it's just our personal. Here, let me message you our account. So that's me.
Okay. So
and that's Paige.
I will make it. Anyone with the link can edit.
Oh, that works too.
Awesome.
Cool. And can I just drop that into the sidebar here? Does that work for you guys?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Oops. Okay. So a bunch of stuff in that doc. There's a couple, just notes in there that we were taking when we were going through a lot of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But near the bottom, you'll see we started to switch into looking at Lisk, started aggregating a bunch of different ideas, and most of these were shifted over to the marketing calendar. Do you guys have access to that as well?
No.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Let me grab that.
It's funny that I've been asking people what we need to look at and what we need access to for 4 days, and you're the first person to mention either of these things.
They should have started you with me. So seems like it's obvious to start the marketing team with the marketing guy.
You would think.
You would think. Let's see. All right. Sorry, it's just taking 1 second here. This one isn't mine. So the marketing ideas, I think, was initially Pat's. So I'm trying to get access to it. So let me add your emails directly here. I think that'll be easiest. You guys just slacked them over to me, right? Cool.
Is this that same doc where there was the list of the refugee center things? The refugee center articles that we talked about?
No. This is a whole new spreadsheet.
Got it.
Cool. Looks like you're there. And Paige, I got you right here. Cool. Yeah, you've had access. There you go. Yeah, there's the marketing ideas spreadsheet. Okay, cool. It said it was shared with you guys, so hopefully that works.
Awesome. Thank you.
So we took the, you can see that the We Trust 2.0 meeting, effectively the last thing on there at the very end, is just like the meeting we had on 3.1, kind of what the narrative was looking like. We've obviously been looking into, Omi's Go as well, the other company that Vitalik advises for, because they seem to be taking kind of a similar approach, switching more to the B2B side.
Okay. So, based on the research you've done, what do you think is going to be, and I understand that's not developed yet, but what do you think is going to be like the main differentiator that's going to make WeTrust stand out from the competition? I know there are a lot of other platforms out there doing this. I mean, even ones that, like Wang mentioned that you didn't cover, like Lumex and Cosmos.network.
Oh, sorry.
Well, I mean, that's okay. Like, there are just so many. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, what's the difference with WeTrust? Like, what's really going to set it apart, and how do you sell it?
Oh yeah. Sorry, there's actually a whole nother doc. It's the Platform as a Service Competitive Analysis doc. Do you guys have this?
No.
Okay, so we looked at other companies too. We looked at like Nuco, for instance. Aon is another one in the space. NEO, EOS. These were all companies we reviewed, but we are currently dropping in here. Let me get this. This one I think I can just get the link for. So come on, here we go. I'll do anyone with the link can edit. All right, so here is the competitive analysis documents we've been going off of. I'm dropping that into the sidebar. There you go. So that speaks to some of the more specific breakdown that we've been doing, looking at companies like, I think you just mentioned Lisk. They're one of the ones on there. Mm-hmm. When it comes to the main competitive advantage, in my understanding, it's trust. And I guess that will be kind of the presence of kind of oracles, which of course other companies kind of have built in as part of their consensus algorithm. So in this case, it's more like these oracle, we're going to be the platform that focuses on tools and services, over individual DApps. Even though we will still be incentivizing them to build individual DApps, like our first kind of build challenge for the public will be centered more around something that it's just like a quick API or SDK, because that's kind of the approach we're taking. That's kind of how we want the platform to feel. So it's very tools heavy, which is one kind of point of differentiation over Stellar, because they're much more, DApp physical products heavy. The other side, of course, is that trust element where, I'm thinking, there might be ways to pull that away from just a consensus algorithm and kind of make trust inherent to any of the tools or services we're offering. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Do you think that has to do, like this trust aspect has to do with the way they're doing the validators a little bit differently than than they have in the past? Like it's an actual person that they vet and they do like a background check of, and they say, like, you're the validator and you have to.
100%. Yeah. So it's basically saying like, look, let's give you like the mission of Stellar, but the structure of like proof of authority, like POA network. Yeah. But what we're trying to do here is focus more on the tools than the products. That's kind of what I see as, I struggle to condense that into a lending club on the blockchain, or like one of the taglines we used to use. But, I think we're getting there. I think saying, we're GitHub for,
right.
tools, or it's going to start painting the wrong picture.
Right.
But I do think that we're getting closer to the pitch, so I guess you could, maybe, like Stellar, but for tools and SDKs, Yeah, but with added trust.